Station. What up?
What up, fellas?
Happy Monday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, happy Monday. The here to review Nope 2022, Jordan Peele's new movie. If you're new, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. You know, we're here every Saturday night. We
There
might
will be
start doing
spoilers.
something every now and then on Monday, because I know Scarpad and me want to do some sci-fi stuff every now and then, and I know Vern would be down for some sci-fi. But a couple people asked me, we'll do a little non-spoiler talk to just let you know our thoughts, and then we'll dive into spoiler talk. So if you do plan to go see this, we'll give you a big heads up so you can get the fuck out of here and then come check
Right.
the other part out after you go see it in theaters. Because I know it just came out Thursday night, but you know,
It grossed 44 million over the.
It was like, I don't see a lot of, like, even the Marvel movies I never see, because I have the Cinemark app. I don't even see those say trending. Nope actually had a little thing in the corner on the app that said trending, and I was like, holy shit. But it was weird because a lot of the shows weren't like selling out like the Marvel movies do.
Well, I went Thursday on an advanced screening, so it was hard for me to tell. But I guess
I went Saturday night.
Yeah,
and there was not many people. There was a baby in there, like,
oh, really?
The entire time. It was a later showing too. It was about 10:30 because we did the stream, and it's ridiculous. And we did get carded too. We did get carded. I don't know why they card us every fucking time.
You got carded like for age?
Yeah, dude. Like one time they carded us for Halloween Kills, and then we went to the one that I live by now. And I go to that's the only one I go to. And that place was like a given. They never ID'd us. And when we got ID'd at one of the Cinemarks, we went to that one even later, like an 11 o'clock showing. They didn't ask for anything.
Right. I haven't been. Cool. Scarpad, you have that problem a lot? You get carded a lot?
No, man.
I haven't been carded in years.
My fucking Cinemark lets these little fucking 10-year-old fucking runts come in and see any rated movie they want.
People literally think I'm like 19, man. When I tell them I'm 28, they're like, get out of here. I'm like, I swear, man.
I will say.
You didn't go in your pajamas, though, did you?
Nah.
All right, cool, man.
It's not trending at the moment on Twitter, because you made me curious, too. My theater's never packed, and it wasn't packed for this. But for it being a Sunday night, because I just went last night, there were some people there. And I kind of got I asked around a little bit afterwards to get their opinions. I was curious how other people in the theater with me were feeling.
Oh, so, nice.
When we get to that, I'll kind of share what they were talking about.
I never do that because I don't want to get killed. But
right. I live in a small town.
Dude, I mean, there's
you want to ask me what, motherfucker? Get away from me.
Who? What? Where?
I see a lot of reviewers at times, they'll, like, you know, actually interview somebody like after, and they'll be like, this is what I thought. They'll be like, and I got this guy here that, you know, he saw the movie, you know, as well. And he says his thing, you know. Now, I haven't seen a lot of people do that, but it's not a bad thing to ask people, you know. Especially a random person that has, you know, they're not gonna beat around the bush. They're gonna tell you how the fuck they feel.
Right.
But overall, non-spoiler talk, man, my girlfriend didn't like it at all. She like passed out through it, man. And to be honest, man, I thought it was beautifully shot. She agreed it was beautifully shot. She could not deny that. Jordan Peele has an eye. And I guess
especially
those freaking Christopher Nolan's cinematographer on this.
Nighttime
didn't even know is the bad guy in The Crow. Vern, you remember The Crow? The bad guy with the weird long hair? That's the freaking video. That's the video guy.
No shit.
Hit you with the gray hair.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of movies.
Hoyt Van Hoyten.
Yeah, his voice, man. I knew when I kept hearing his voice, I was like, that voice is so familiar. Dude, he's one of the best cinematographers.
Yeah, it's hard to get movies. It's hard to shoot movies that are shot at night and be able to see everything. And this movie's predominantly at night in the dark.
Right.
And it was shot so well that you could fucking spot anything dead on. You know, the acting, the cinematography, the music, and the casting, all fucking top notch. All top notch.
Yeah.
There's other issues.
But, like how it kind of begins when like that beginning intro, my girl kind of thought, she was like, that's part of it because it says Monkey Paw Productions. Yeah. I know Monkey Paw Productions and I know their intro with the hand and the little coffee pot. Well, she thought because it was the monkey, when she sees that, she's like,
there's not a lot we can say here without getting into spoilers, which I'm not
saying anything.
So why don't we just go around and just ask everybody what they thought, their general opinion of the movie, maybe based on his other movies, what you thought, and overall, and then we can get into spoilers.
Y'all know I hate Us, so it would straight up go Get Out, Nope, and Us. I definitely want to see this again, because it's not a perfect movie. Definitely not a perfect movie. But there's a lot of things I really did like about it. When we get to the spoiler talk, there's like a way that like I kind of wish it would have went, but you know, we got something different and more unique, which I kind of appreciate that in a way, because you know, I guess Jordan Peele is kind of trying to be this new twist guy. You know what I mean? But for the most part, I did really enjoy it. I thought it was beautifully shot. You can't deny that. It's gonna be. I feel like it's just kind of like a fun one to watch. I feel like I've seen a lot of people that loved Us didn't like Nope, but then you know I hate Us, but I think this was pretty good. You know, a lot of people are comparing it to like Close Encounter.
Right, I've heard that quite a bit. Jaws.
Yeah. So it's definitely worth watching, and I'd say it's highly recommended to see in the theater. If you're gonna see it at all, definitely, you know, if you can splurge.
Yeah, the sound was amazing.
It's beautiful. Yeah, and there's a lot of crazy sounds that, you know, really, you know, terror kind of gets you on the edge of your seat. It's really well done.
That's what I need. I need to move out of this town just to have a better theater, because the biggest issue with my theater in this town is noise bleed. There's a lot of moments throughout this film that are quiet, which is cool. Nothing wrong with that. But I'm hearing Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh, really?
During those, it's pretty bad. At this
I remember when that used to happen to me, a little mom and pop down the street. But now, when you're in an XD theater, that's all you're hearing is that movie.
Right.
See, I didn't go to XD, and I'm glad I didn't, because my girl kept falling asleep. So I was like already nervous. Like, please don't like fall dead asleep, you know. But I saw it right. The only thing, every time it went quiet, the baby kept saying something. So that kind of ruined that a bit for me. Not enough to like where I'm like, oh, it ruined it totally. But for the quiet parts, you need kind of that calmness for a second, you know, to make it effective. And that kind of pissed me off a little bit. You know, I tried to just get out of my head, because I'm like, what are you going to do? It's a baby. You know, I'm not mad at the baby. It was more like, but why would you guys as adults take them out like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a late showing, you know? But yeah, for the most part, I thought it was a great theater experience. When we get to the spoilers, I thought this was going to be one of the best experiences, just like when I saw Scream. because there's one scene in particular, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is great!" But it
I know
kind of
you're
went a
talking
different way after
Right.
that.
I know what you're talking about.
And I think it's
Okay, let's hear what you got to say, and then Vern, we'll get, and then
Yeah.
so then we'll get into spoiler talk.
Overall, I liked it. I would do the same order as you. I would do, Get Out, this movie.
Get Out is just a
and then
masterpiece.
I love pretty much a lot about this movie. I did think it was about 15 minutes too long. It's 2 hours and 10 minutes, and there's a lot of
2
stuff.
2 hours and 15.
There's around that, and there's stuff that's in the middle of this movie, getting to the third act, that I think could have been trimmed and cut down and shortened. And I think it was like an hour and 45 would have been a lot better. There's some choices he makes in his movies, like the title cards. I hate those. That really pulls you out of the movie. I really like the idea of the movie. I like the plot. I think it fell a little short, but I enjoyed what I saw. Yeah. But I do have some issues with some of the. When you go back and think about some of it, a lot of it don't make a heck of a lot of sense. We'll go over that and spoil it. And I think the scene that you're talking about is the scene that, to me, was the best scene in the movie. For suspense and horror.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
in the barn. Let's just say, right? We're all talking about the same scene in the barn.
No, I'm not talking about that.
You're talking about the beginning.
I'm talking about the beginning.
Okay.
I know. Okay. See, I had to look up really what that meant, though. If you figure out what it means,
I don't think it means anything. I don't think it means anything. We'll get into it.
No, it does.
But I think your best scene in the movie is a scene that ultimately can get pulled out of a movie and don't affect the movie, that's a problem.
Right.
But I did like the stuff in the barn's really good too.
Yeah.
And the ending and stuff. But I have some problems with the ending. But yeah, overall I liked it. I enjoyed the movie with issues.
Hell yeah.
I didn't like it. No. Okay. I'm kind of joking because I'll just say it again. I always like a movie better the second time, but I feel like I wasn't lost. I followed the movie. I was into the movie the entire time. I didn't zone out or get confused, or I wasn't having a hard time following it, but I wasn't very entertained very often. There wasn't the pacing, like Scarpat mentioned. They cut 15 minutes out of this. It's going to be a better, more enjoyable experience. The highlights are, as you mentioned, the cast is phenomenal. The acting is great. The cinematography off the charts. The music, nothing too creative or innovative with the music. It was kind of like a throwback style, but it was great. It was done. The really
music,
well.
I really mean, are the sounds of the ship. You know what I mean? Right. That's what I'd say. That's the best
technically
part
this movie's top notch. Technically and acting wise, top notch. Where it falls down is in the writing.
Right. I think that's the weakest part.
And that's Jordan Peele, because he wrote and directed and produced it.
Not even the right. It's like, I like the choices that he makes. He's good at not giving you what you're expecting.
But everything has a payoff as well, which I do
see.
Like.
That was my problem. Like, I didn't, of course, we'll get into it in spoilers. The whole time, it's like a minute or an hour and 20 minutes into the film. And like I said, I'm into it, but I'm not like, oh, damn, they're fucking killing it. But I started to get the feeling like, if the payoff isn't there, I'm going to be pretty disappointed when I leave this theater. And for me, like, when we finally do learn as much as we do learn in the film, there's still plenty of questions at the end, it or don't like it. There's questions, but overall, I wasn't that entertaining. Maybe I'm too MCU'd out and I need jokes every 5 minutes. I don't know. But for me, it just didn't blow me away. And I would say Get Out, absolute masterpiece. Us, I need to watch a few videos on, because I enjoy his character work a lot. I think it's one of his strongest points. But at the end of it, every time I watch it, I'm like, I still don't fucking get it. This one I get, but I don't know. I don't see myself watching it again and being blown away. But I liked it. I didn't dislike it, but there's very few things that there's very few moments in the film that I was like, oh, snap, that was incredible. And as you guys mentioned, the two best things, the beginning and the barn part, you could pull both of those out, and the film, you wouldn't notice that there was something missing. And those are the two they're the most horrific moments. Like, this isn't a horror film. It's a sci-fi film,
it's just
done
there's
by a
couple
horror director.
aspects to it.
Yeah,
Like
but just a
there,
little bit.
there's a really great thing, and we'll talk about it in spoilers. But when Stephen Yeun does his whole, unveiling,
Mm-hmm.
and then you don't know what it is at first, but we'll talk about it.
I have a lot of questions on that. Though.
A
lot of it don't make a lot of sense.
I'd say if you are a Jordan Peele fan, definitely go check it out. If you're not, if you're a sci-fi fan, definitely go check it out. If you're a Western fan, check it out.
Right.
I think if you like going to see movies in the theater for an experience, I think this is a good one. I think this is the blockbuster of the summer. That's what Jordan Peele keeps saying. He's like, I just wanted to do it. We just wanted to do a blockbuster, because Get Out was kind of more indie, you know what I mean? Even though I think Universal still put that out, but it was under the radar. Nobody was like looking at this, you know what I'm saying? Because they're like, Jordan Peele, this comedic,
Right.
He's not doing nothing. They were blown away. I will say last thing before we jump into spoilers. I feel like he always has that, like with Get Out and Us, they had that agenda and they're pushing it over the head, hitting it over the head. This one,
I didn't think this movie had this.
None of that in this, honestly.
No,
none of that. I feel like this one was a lot more simpler with his.
I don't know, man. I think because there's more themes in this one, and some of them are a little more under the radar. I kept waiting for it. It's like, oh, these fucking aliens are gonna be racist. I know it. Like I couldn't believe. I was surprised he didn't go that route.
I mean, he went a little more simplistic with it. And
the
also,
the only part I saw was just a little bit of the stuff in the beginning with the African American.
What we saw in the trailer.
Going that the first black. Racer was an African American, but that stuff doesn't bother me. I mean,
no,
that's real life history too,
right? It's not. Yeah, I think of all his movies, this is the one with less of an agenda.
Yeah,
and I don't even mind an agenda program as long as the movie is written well.
Right.
Yeah, where the agenda stands out is when the movie's not written well.
Exactly.
And that's all there is.
Or when it's message first. I think this is more of a character driven, even though the themes play a big part, grief and animal exploitation, and those hit, but it's not the what you see every 2 seconds in every movie, which is kind of what he's been doing, but he's just been doing it better than everybody else, I think, or at least from what I've been watching.
When I say simple, it's more like when I remember when the trailer came out, there's so many people spectating on like the girl that kind of looks deformed, and they're like, is she like an alien? Is she like, or is she a mutated horse? Because everyone was thinking like the horse. There was some thing with the aliens and the horses like combining. There was just so many crazy theories, and then when you see it, you're like, holy shit, how did that? I never think of that, But straight up warning here, my guys. Is there anything else you want to throw out before we get into spoilers? Spoiler talk. So if you don't want to hear none of that, get the fuck out of here. And, we'll catch you on the flip side.
We're glad you're here now. Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
And we'll give you 5 seconds to flip that.
I will say, given I like the premise of this movie, and I think I was a little disappointed just because I think it could have been better. It could have been better from a horror standpoint.
Well, if it's an even 2-hour movie, I think that would help big time with pacing a little bit. It wouldn't change the ending. You know what I mean? But
yes, I think some of the stuff that definitely could have been cut out.
All right, guys. So fair warning, spoilers. We said it. I'm saying it again. Spoilers. If you don't want to hear them, get the fuck out of here and go see Nope so you can come back and hear what we got to say.
And stay away from Tinder. Tinder will rot your brain.
Yeah.
So, man, straight up, I tell you, dude, when that scene so we'll start off at the beginning. So, like I said, that monkey paw sign comes out, and then you get this monkey killing all these people. You know what I'm saying? My girl thought after it was done, she thought that was part of the monkey paw intro. I was like,
it's like that Family Guy joke.
The movie.
And you guys see that Family Guy joke where it's like, you go to the theater now and you can't tell when the movie's actually started. Like that's what it really is. Sometimes you're like, is this the movie or is this just a production company intro?
Yeah.
Well, let's address the elephant in the room. The monkey on the sitcom.
At first, I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
I mean, to me, that scene was so good, especially when it gets expounded on later on, that it kind of took away from the main premise. And when the alien does appear later on, I was a bit let down because even though it was good, some of that stuff where they're getting sucked up was kind of graphic. The monkey stuff was so good,
right?
That I said, I almost want to see more of that.
Right.
Show me that. Show me that fucking movie. And then when it really at the end didn't matter, it didn't matter. It could have been pulled out. You're saying to yourself, that's going to come into play somehow, and it really, really does not.
It just foreshadows, and it's the monkey's story, and what happens with him is parallel to what happens with whether it's an alien or whether it's something that's been on Earth forever. I think that's what it's about: animal exploitation. The Glenn character, Glenn from The Walking Dead, his character is exploiting the alien and making a spectacle out of him and using him in the same way that the sitcom.
But now Izzy, because there's a dialogue, and we'll get into some of this stuff here that didn't make a lot of sense. There's a dialogue. They even talk about it. How do you make a deal with an alien? They say that he made a deal. He made a deal to get all these people to come and get sucked up and die. That made no sense because ultimately,
I thought, what's his name? I thought the brother was saying, well, we should make a deal with him. I don't think Stephen Yeun and his family were just watching. They've seen for like 6 months. They're like, every Saturday for the last 6 months, this has been going on.
Right.
And that's why he was buying the horses, and he was feeding them to the thing. He'd been like kind of testing this theory. I don't think he did that. He didn't. Why would he send them out there for him to get sucked up?
I don't think it's necessarily like
trying to exploit the animal and make money off it.
He
didn't make a deal with it. He just recognized its patterns and was taking advantage of the patterns.
Like, I can just feed it. I can pay this for a horse, and then I'm gonna get all these people to blow in. Like, I mean, horse is expensive, but he figures this is a one of a kind thing that no one's ever seen. Just like in a way how the other guys, they're trying to exploit it with getting the picture, the impossible picture. You think they're doing this all for fun? They're trying.
I guess the question would then beg the question that would get begged then would be, well, if he was feeding horses to this thing, and I mean, you get the idea that he had shown that he had brought people saw this before. He had a crowd seeing it before. This wasn't the first time with a crowd, was it? Did you get that idea?
I got the feeling you're right. He had done that before with the crowd. I don't know if he'd done it many times. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Because he said, "Well, you're gonna leave a changed person in an hour." Right. And kind of almost get the idea that this had happened before.
Because what's his name finds the flyer in a pile of shit.
Right.
Like, and that's when he finds out about it, about the show and everything. You're and then he knows about it because then he's like, I gotta go get lucky. He figures out that he's been feeding, because he even says when he's like, I'm gonna buy my horses back. He's like, because he knows those horses are gone. I don't know if he'd had shows, maybe mini shows where he had a couple people, but I think he was just feeding the horses, because I feel like if he thought that he was going to get eaten, I don't know if he would have done it, because at this point he's trying to exploit this thing for money.
Well, that's kind of my issue. Like, okay, it's I guess it's a really like nuanced thing, because they're saying Steve Ewan's character was exploiting the alien by doing that. But our heroes in the film, Keke Palmer, they are, but even like their family, they're horse wranglers. Yeah. So what's the real difference? The difference is supposed to be that they do it with respect, and they're taking care of the animals, and they care about the animals' feelings.
Well, they want the $1 million. They want the $1 million.
They want the Oprah shot. So it's
to save the farm.
It's an iffy thing. And I'll just say that wasn't my that's something about the film that it's like, okay, once I realized like the end of this film is all about trying to get a picture of this alien or get a movie. It's like, I don't really fucking care. Like for me, that was a letdown. It's like, oh, that's what the third act is trying to get a picture of it.
The picture seems kind of less, doesn't like it shouldn't matter, because he says that this place is kind of I don't know if he means the entire Earth, but I felt like he thought that valley. He's like, and he thinks that he's predatorial, and he thinks this is his home. And then it cuts out like he's saying that this is his home. So it's like he's coming for you guys, if anything, And once they feed him that fucking thing, and he like, because I guess that's what the father died from. I was like, what the fuck is that? That's him getting rid of all the shit that he can't swallow.
Right.
And that's what he basically shit all over the house.
Which is cool. Which is cool. That was a good moment.
That after all the Stephen Yeun people get sucked up, dude, I was like, this is some society shit. Dude, that's them getting swallowed and going through the digestive system.
That's horrific.
That's a horror scene right there as well.
Right, but I would have liked to see more on that.
Definitely.
I would have liked to see a little bit more of that.
Right, like make that graphic. Like maybe have a few people out there. Have grandma get her head chopped off from something falling out of the sky. But he didn't want to make a graphic. He didn't want to make a clear-cut horror movie. He wanted to make this Close Encounters kind of a thing.
Yeah, because it definitely has it has kind of the Jaws ending in a way too.
Right.
The other thing I didn't like so much is the ending, because things go awry, and they end up going back to where Stephen Yeun was, and she just was able to get it over that. I knew that camera thing in the well was going to come into it again, because they showed it earlier.
Right.
It just happened to get it centered there so they can get a picture in the camera in the well. That was a little lame. Plus, it didn't seem like when she went there was nobody there. But then as soon as she gets the camera shot, there's cops coming in, there's people outside. It's like these people didn't see any of that happening. The thing is, that valley, even though that Yoon thing is a ways away, they showed a shot earlier at night where you can see the light from that. This thing being as big as it was, if those people or those cops saw the Ewan thing, they would have seen a lot of this happen. They would have seen that monster, I think. And that just didn't make too much sense to me there either. It was a little too close to where it was.
Right.
But I'm wondering if he had pulled out the whole monkey thing. I understand what you're saying, but the thing is, Stephen Yeun wasn't really exploiting the monkey, the people in the sitcom.
No, he wasn't. Right. It's just still, though, that he'd gone through a traumatic experience. He says himself, they overworked it. He's like, this was one of the days that the monkey just got overworked. You know what I'm saying?
And then he does exploit it later on.
He knew exactly what was going on. He might not have been. He was just a part of the show, but he was a part of a traumatic experience where he could have died and watched this animal get, in front of him.
And then
instead of doing something different, he went nothing changed. He learned his lesson.
It's like a kid getting beaten by his dad and then grows up and beats his kid. It's like you get this trauma inflicted on you, then you inflict it on other people. But what's kind of cool, and this is something that I think I saw in like Screen Crush or something. I didn't put the two together, but it's really, I'll just say, the more that I think about the movie and like kind of read some reviews, like I left being like, I don't think I'll watch this again. I don't know. I don't have much need to watch it again.
Yeah,
now I do. Like I do need to watch it again.
Because once I watched reviews, I knew it might open up some stuff too.
What I was going to say is, like, they say what made the monkey go off was a balloon popping. So it startled him.
Oh, really? I wonder what's up with the shoe, like sitting up in the air while the girl had like one, and it's not on it, but it's just sitting right up.
Right.
No, I think it was balanced like that. I think it was an odd thing
like that. What?
It was an odd.
Get the fuck out of here!
It just was an odd thing that happened, and you see it later on. He has the shoe. But he has the shoe in a case, doing the same thing. It's standing.
Yeah, I didn't notice that. That's cool.
In that room, he has the room that he exploits. He exploited the people to go in that room for $100,000 too.
I thought there was some connection to me, like
I don't think there is. I don't think so. But
I'll tell you what's great is Jordan Peele's commentary. He will tell you in that, because his commentary tracks are better than anybody's.
I'm buying the 4K without a doubt. But I do plan on watching this again.
That's the thing with the movie. I think there's a lot of this where you can argue, I guess, and that's the thing with the movie. Some of this might matter, some of it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. I don't think that shoe standing up was anything. I don't think, it should have had a little bit more. I think maybe a little bit more of a thread going through it than what it had.
Right. What I was gonna say earlier though is like the balloon pop sets the monkey off, and then later on it's that the way that they defeat the alien or whatever it is
with the
that
balloon.
giant balloon goes up into it, pops inside of it, and kills it. So that's kind of they connect thematically and like in a foreshadowing way, but not in a plot way, which is
Right.
that was
I
what
mean,
was
those people don't
disappointing.
know it. None of those people know that.
Right, exactly, yeah.
You know, maybe it was Stephen Ewan making it. He was still alive, and he made that connection. But you know, that's the thing. It just didn't have a bearing.
What
to
did you
me.
guys think, if you don't mind me asking, like of the reveal? Again, spoiler alert. Like, what did you guys think of it being? It wasn't a UFO. The UFO itself is some kind of like alien or kaiju monster made out of like a fabric type material that could shapeshift. Like, that was the unique thing.
Threw me off. The shape shifting threw me off because I kind of like the ship thing better. I thought that kind of was cool and unique. When he like transforms, that I know like this one girl I watched, she thought that was like beautiful and kind of like supposed to be aquatic, and Jordan Peele saying like, just as they always say, like we don't know like about the deep sea, like how there's so much unexplored, you know what I mean? That also the sky is kind of unexplored in a way, you know what I mean?
The alien was kind of like the aliens that's at the bottom of the water in the abyss, if I remember correctly. They kind of like a translucent.
It's like this elegant kind of.
But then that like green door like comes out of it, you know what I mean? Which I really hope they better do a freaking commentary.
Well, then again, Jordan Peele could just be a Star Trek fan, because at the end of the pilot for Star Trek: The Next Generation, there was an alien that, and I know you guys don't know anything about this, but
I know something about it.
The alien at the end, it was a shape-shifting alien, and then this race was exploiting them to be a base for the Federation.
Is that where they had to disconnect the saucer section?
Yes, that's the first episode. And the aliens were the base, or the alien was a base, and it was holding it captive. And at the end, this other alien comes and they free it, and it's floating up. It looks a lot like the Jordan Peele monster.
That's a good point, yeah.
And the two aliens came and held hands and then flew away. So it was a little like that. So it's not the first time you saw something like that on film. There's been a lot of that type of stuff in science fiction, and so I wasn't really surprised.
I think it was a good like kind of, especially with the barn scene with the seeing aliens, like they're trying to set you up that like people are getting abducted, you know what I mean? They've set it up like a classical. So I kind of did appreciate that, but in a way, I feel like you could get two movies. You get the one where it's an animal or it's some type of entity, and then you get the one, but it obviously ends up being the kids. But when you get that barn scene with the freaking aliens and they're doing like the side tilt and the wall, holy shit! To be for that,
you stole a horse, motherfucker.
Dude, when that happened and that thing's like peeking and then it's like turning its head around the corner and it's just slowly and just keeps doing. My girl's like she's, and I was like, this is so awesome.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
It's such a good experience.
That's the most horror. Like that has the strongest horror vibes in the movie, and it's got some of the best suspense. But this is what I was just telling to my old lady. That's only going to work one time. Yeah, like the second time you see that, that's not going to be.
Was one of your complaints with the Scream 5.
As I said, I think the monkey killing people in the sitcom was a level above all that. I think that was more
for
horrific.
Sure.
And that's the thing. I think this is a horror sci-fi. It's sci-fi, but it's also, I think it's more horror than sci-fi.
Yeah, it's a freaking horror sci-fi thriller western.
I would like to see a little bit more horror. Just a little bit more, because there was a lot. That was a long movie for around those two set pieces, and those really are the biggest horror.
Yeah, they just put in a lot of beautiful landscape shots with them just walking and talking,
or going to the store. The other thing I didn't get either, and maybe I wigged out. I didn't understand at all why the director basically committed suicide. Why did he walk up to the top of the hill?
Dumb.
He said something to the kid like, "You can't be sacrificed."
Nobody deserves the shot or something.
Yeah, and then he walked up there and basically let himself get eaten. It made absolutely no fucking sense.
I thought like, oh, he's gonna die for the shot. He took the
Yeah,
camera
but you
with
could see
him.
him with the camera. So what the fuck?
but I mean, I think it's just implied. The way I took it is like he got taken up, but that entity is gonna shit out the camera, and they probably will be able to get that footage. But they don't really like make it obvious or anything. It was a little strange to me, and he wasn't like very developed. He just kind of gets brought in. It's like, all right, shoot this shit. But and he was okay.
Yeah.
I didn't really love the tech guy. He didn't seem to fit in. He didn't add a whole lot to it.
He's like a brand new guy that nobody like.
Jordan Peele. He's in
he put what the main guy on the map.
Yeah.
Like he's the one who put him on the map. I don't know. I forget his name. Was it Daniel? Do you know? You know what I'm talking about?
Brandon Pereira is the dude.
No, I mean the main guy. Jordan Peele put him on the map, and
Daniel Kaluuya.
This is the new guy that Jordan Peele's kind of introducing.
That guy, I first saw him in an episode of Black Mirror that was phenomenal. This is one of the things. I think he is one of the best young actors doing it right now, and his strongest suit is to like emote. He's not like this great. He's going to give you these amazing lines.
Are you talking speeches. About the brother?
The brother.
He was
the dude from Get Out.
He's been in a bunch of stuff,
But he's kind of like in this movie, like where he doesn't get much good dialogue. He's kind of just I don't know. It's just a lot of him emoting, and it adds to the slowness of the film. Even though he's great, like I don't want to complain about him, but there's not much good dialogue between him. I think
why they did that is because he was kind of a sounding board to kind of deflect a little bit the over the top stuff the sister was doing.
Right.
And that's why they had him in the.
Which is one of the best parts of the film is their dynamic, and the brother-sister relationship was really strong.
How they're
for
totally opposites, you know. Mm-hmm. How he kind of can't talk in public and gets all nervous when they're trying to introduce, and then how like all he cares, he's just there. He's there for the animals. He's like, I don't do this shit. He's like, all I care about is the animals and respecting them. You know what I mean? And the sister's the one like, oh, you know, we do this, and you know, I got a TikTok, and you know, I also do house cleaning on the side, you know, just all this shit. And he's like, man, shut the fuck up. We're here to talk about the horses, not your goddamn side shit.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. All right.
But Keke Palmer did fantastic.
She's what everyone's talking about. She's the name that people that watch a lot of films, they know her name, but this is like her biggest thing that she's done. She's getting a lot of praise.
Yeah, I haven't, seen her in much lately, but yeah, she did fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have rather gotten all the barn scenes? Like, would you have rather had just full out aliens, or do you like the way it went with the animal? Could you have seen like a whole movie kind of like that? I don't know.
I think we have enough movies with aliens in it. I think the animal is fine, but I think they could have done
used maybe one more scene like more scene like that.
They could have done a little bit more with the animal, a little bit more at night, a little bit more of them somebody being hunted by it, somebody knowing that it's there.
It's not that threatening in the third act. It's more of like this adventure kind of thing.
And I didn't really care for the whole idea, which really didn't pay off in the movie, that you have to look at it for it to come down and get you.
Right.
That didn't make a whole lot of sense. So I don't know. That part was a little strange.
It tied into the Daniel Kaluuya's character and his whole animal taming things, and you don't look a predator in the eye, yada yada. So I mean, I get it, but it was a little it was a little, it's like, what are we supposed to think this thing is? Like, because it's not intelligent in the way that to understand that, it makes me think it's not an alien, that it is something that's just been on the earth for a long time. Because if it was an alien and it had the intelligence and technology to travel from another planet, it would understand that that's a human with eyes glued onto the back of its head. You know what I mean? Right. Like, I don't think this is a movie about an alien. I think it's more of a kaiju.
Like an animal. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what everyone's saying, animal, when they talk about it.
Right.
They're saying animal. It's an animal, you know. That's like the twist, that it's not a UFO. It's not aliens abducting horses and people. It's a fucking animal eating people. And that they use like that middle part thinking like, oh, that's what beams it up. No, that's its fucking mouth, you know?
You're just
It's
sucking it
sucking
in.
people up, you know?
But then why not just fucking see somebody walking down the street, fucking go up and just fucking suck them up? You want?
Well, I guess
Buffet,
it's smart.
man.
Look at how it just sits behind the clouds. You know what I
know.
mean? It's not. It doesn't. Maybe it definitely.
It's bashful.
It's a hunter. I mean, if it's a predator, it's a predator.
Yeah.
They don't just bring themselves. They stalk their prey. You know what I mean? Like it's why, like how the guy said, when they're showing the camera footage and just for hours, it's just sitting behind this cloud while everything's moving. You know,
that was cool.
It's just watching things and waiting for the right time. You know. It probably knows the best time to hunt is at night. You know what I mean? Like
and as I mentioned before,
been there a while. You know,
I didn't care for the title cards too, like these segments he does with the horse.
Yeah, I didn't really.
I didn't get them. I didn't understand. I didn't connect them with the scene that followed.
Right, and then they just stop. Yeah. You know what I mean? Then they just don't. He just
I didn't understand
just dumps the whole thing.
That's like wannabe Quentin thing that you just can't pull off because you're not Quentin.
Right. Either that or I'm not smart enough. Like I'm the first to admit there's probably elements, especially his last two films, that I just haven't understood just
yet.
Man,
I watched all the videos I could on Us, and I still don't like it.
See, I don't think I've watched a single video on Us, and that's the one. That's the one I need to.
It makes it even worse for me watching the videos. But you'll have to let me know when you watch some videos.
I think the biggest thing this movie has going against this is the running time. I think if it was shorter and he'd had a little bit more trimmed into it, it would have, I think.
Yeah, because on rewatch, man, some of those scenes are really like the first time it's like, okay, but then on rewatch, I feel like some of them are going to really drag,
Right.
Where you're going to kind of want to put it on like 1.5 and just go, just speed it up.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the first hour 20 of the movie, it starts dragging about.
But there are a lot of good scenes where I'm like really interested on like what's going on and what they're trying to figure out, like what's going on and what this thing is and like what's the connections here, Right. I mean, there's a lot. I liked,
I think if at the end of the movie we felt a stronger connection other than the themes with the monkey stuff, that would have went a long way until
the only thing.
Go ahead.
No, my bad. Finish.
No, I was just saying it would have went a long way into me enjoying it more at the end, more of a payoff for the slow burn.
Yeah.
Because I can dig a slow burn. Like Midsummer, that's what I kept comparing it to. They're so different films, but they're both these slow-ass burns. But to me, I was just more entertained by mostly the dialogue and the stuff that led up to the reveal at the end of Midsummer than this one. And the payoff wasn't enough for me at the end. And maybe it's expectations. Like you said, I was expecting some kind of alien thing. So it's just like what we were talking, like I kept thinking after our conversation about Devil's Rejects, I wonder if Robbie, next time he watches Devil's Rejects, he'll like it more because he went in expecting more of a House of a Thousand Corpses vibe. Expectations, and when you're predicting something, it really can screw with my head personally. It's like, this isn't what I thought.
Yeah, that's why I kind of like coming out. I was like, I like it, but I was like, I don't know. And then when I sat on it, and then I thought about like it's an animal. That was pretty. I was like, I like it a little more.
Right. Do you think in hindsight the trailers showed too much?
Nah.
I didn't really.
It did like maybe now you might think so.
Do you think maybe the reveal of the saucer was too much? That they should have taken that out? No?
Did they show it in the trailer? I don't think I watched
it. I think they show like one shot where like when he's peeking his head out of like the barn or whatever, and then looking up, and then you just see like like it flash by.
Right.
But
I think every trailer shows too much.
I think they did. Yeah, I think besides this Halloween Ends trailer, that was the perfect one because it doesn't show anything for storyline. I think that it did do good because we really didn't know what the storyline was going to be about.
You almost think
that's what they ruined or storylines.
Yeah, the girl that got bit by the monkey that you thought maybe it was a zombie or it got killed by
or
the
like
aliens
a mutated horse or something that people thought.
Yeah, I mean,
Literally, no, dude, I heard everything.
This the girl that got her face bit off.
That she was like an alien horse mix or something that's been like down on her. I heard so many fucking things. Then like with the hand, when the monkey puts its hand out, that was supposed to be an alien too, like with like a horse knuckle or something. I'm telling you. So like, I think the trailer did pretty good for
right,
because it gives you the analysis or the illusion that this is going to be a regular UFO movie.
Right,
You know what I mean? Like, and it's not.
I don't know. I think the whole notion of like monkeys biting my face off horrifies me. I gotta see a movie about that.
Well, that's a real thing. Like they really do.
Yeah.
Like there's.
I know they do.
Yeah,
there's
they're gonna go
cases
for
of
like
monkeys.
your testicles and your fucking nose. They go for like all the soft parts, man.
Yeah.
Because I watched last night. I watched the video on YouTube about all these people getting hugged by animals, and during the middle of it, it was all like monkeys hugging people, and it's like, oh, don't do it, man! Don't fucking do it,
man!
Rip your face off.
For you to not watch trailers at all, Two Gun, I respect you so much. I wish I had like for like Halloween Ends or anything like horror related that I just love. If it's Jeepers Creepers, fucking Scream, Trick or Treat, any of that shit, man, I gotta watch the trailer.
I gotta.
I try not to watch.
I try now. I'm gonna try to just maybe watch the teaser, and that's it. Like me and my girl said that we're not gonna like that teaser was perfect. They didn't say it for Halloween Ends. I'm talking that teaser was perfect, and we're gonna try. She said she's not. She probably will be able to. I'm gonna try not to watch the official trailer when it comes out, but we'll see.
Yeah, we're pretty hard. Like my girlfriend really tried to avoid anything for Thor: Love and Thunder, and then in the theater before the movie starts, they show this little clip of Chris Hemsworth, and they're asking him, "What was it like to work with Natalie Portman again?" And she's like, "Fuck," because she hadn't watched anything. She stayed away. She didn't know she didn't even know
about that.
Yeah, yeah. So she was like,
"Motherfucker." I'm pretty. I think I think we've seen enough Halloweens now to kind of get the idea of the gist of how the general.
Oh, well, that's why I knew with the trailer they put out now it's perfect.
I think it's a limited thing they can really do with that movie. Either she's gonna die, he's gonna die. They both don't die, or they all come back. And it's gonna be stalking and killing. I mean, it's
stalking, some killing.
Lori's never, Lori's
probably a teenager.
It's just like I knew when I saw the fucking Lord of the Rings show that's coming to Amazon that eventually those motherfuckers were just gonna be getting up and walking across grass. Because that's all I did in all those fucking Lord of the Rings movies. Walked and walked and walked and walked. If I gotta see another fucking Lord of the Rings movie where they fucking walk through the whole fucking thing, I'll kill myself. To me, that's the most horrific thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's walking. Hobbits walking with big hairy feet.
Walking toward a mountain, walking this way, walking that way. Oh my God. The whole movie's walking.
Hey. Aragon fucks shit up in that, man.
I know, but there's a lot of walking.
I know.
A lot of walking. But monkeys do
man. For the most part, man, I had a pretty good time at, seeing this in the theater. If you can, Scarpad definitely recommends it in XD.
Yeah, it was good and great. The cinematography and the sound and everything in XD. I know it's like $2-3 more. They shouldn't charge it. I don't know why they do, but I do know why they do.
Especially if you're a Cinemark member, which I am.
They shouldn't charge it. Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you're not a member. They get you every way they can. I tell if you're a Peele fan, I definitely think you will enjoy it, but go in there expecting a sci-fi movie, not a horror movie. There are some horror aspects, but it's mainly a sci-fi movie, without a doubt. It's sci-fi, western, thriller with some horror in there. There's definitely horror in there for sure, but it's just,
it's got like an A24 vibe, don't you think? Like just with the slowness and the tone and the look.
I was kind of surprised Universal did put it out with the Jaws references. It makes sense that Universal put it out now, but I was surprised, honestly.
Right, which I liked. Like they were using those inflatable dancey things, kind of like the barrels in Jaws,
right.
And just different ways to show the presence of like the lights going off at certain times. There was some. The more we talk about it, and the more I think about it, because that's a big thing. I don't know if you guys are the same way, but if you go to a movie and like if the movie goes out of your head right away, like it wasn't that good of a movie. This one is lingering with me, and I do.
Yeah.
It's been a day, and I keep thinking about it.
I do think it's rewatchable. I liked it. I do think it's rewatchable. I think it's something I'm gonna get the disc on. I know, like Dylan says, there's a stretch in there about an hour 10 minutes in where it does drag a little bit, and then it picks up to go into the third act. So I think that's the biggest fault of the movie. It's just you should have cut 10, 15 minutes out of it, and it would have been a much better. But I did look on I did look on IMDb. I usually do that and just see how the general comments are. It's not scoring too well among most people. Most people.
I thought it was doing pretty good rating wise.
As far
starting to go down.
It's. I don't know about Rotten Tomatoes. I just go by.
Well, I don't really do Rotten Tomatoes. I think Rotten Tomatoes had an 80% last time.
Yeah.
I looked. Not that I looked. Somebody on a video that I watched, they showed it. I always just do IMDb because
what I like to do is like look at a review on YouTube and then go through the comments. I love getting the comments of just random people that saw it, and for the most part, like. I'm like jealous of how much people enjoyed the film. I'm like, damn, I wish I enjoyed it this much. There's a lot of people like, oh, this was a masterpiece. It's like, 100%, I would not go that far.
No,
I think it's his worst movie.
No,
I enjoyed it less than Us, undoubtedly, but that could change a second.
The masterpiece is how it's shot. That's the masterpiece is how it's shot, without a doubt. It is fucking gorgeous, man.
Hell yeah.
But all three, I don't like Us. But it is still shot very well. Mm-hmm. But out of his three movies, Us is the weakest out of his shots. Get Out is stunning, and so is Nope. Candyman is shot really well, but that's Nia DaCosta. Mm-hmm. He just produced that and wrote the script. But I still think that.
Well, it's interesting. Vern mentioned, like an M. Night Shyamalan type thing, and whether he's going to become that type of director.
That's what people think.
He needs to avoid that.
He's becoming the twist guy, man, and he needs to get out from that.
M. Night Shyamalan shit the bed because of that. Because
exactly.
When the movies can't live up to a twist all the time, that's a problem.
Right.
And I think he needs to avoid that. Otherwise, and I think he also needs to step out and do some more non-genre films too. They can't all be horror, sci-fi. He needs to mix it up, maybe get in with a comedy.
I wouldn't mind if he stays horror, but that's because that's what I like.
But I mean, this guy came from Key and Peele. Some of that shit was held down like hilarious.
But there's some.
I love that.
And maybe he doesn't want to do comedy anymore. But I'd like to see him go back and do a little bit more comedy.
I think he will probably in time, but I think he adds in some good comedic stuff here and there on his stuff, and I think that's his comedic. Background is what helps him in some of his writing, where like I said earlier, where if he throws something in and then sometimes you might get a payoff towards the end on it, but a lot of time, most of it, there's not a lot I don't think there's anything I could say where they show something and it doesn't have a payoff towards the end, or it doesn't at least like come back and mean something,
right
or a lot of times they just throw this random shit in. And the only thing I'd say that I didn't know was the shoes tilting up. But they do kind of go back on that when they go into the little museum room. But a lot of times the people throw in random ass shit and then it just never comes back up. And you're like, well, what happened to this? You know what I mean?
Well, I think there's a lot of diversions when you're watching a movie in the theater too. And I think once you get home and you watch again on video, you are going to pick up on a lot of stuff. I know I was sitting next to this guy and his girlfriend. These guys thought they were in the living room because every scene they were either going, and they were just making all these noises. Like, I don't know, they thought they were home or something. It's like, it was very distracting.
I was in there with my 8-month pregnant fiance, and it's like all these quiet scenes, and she's like, I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that could be
ruining this for somebody.
These two are just like, how you be at home and you go like, mm-hmm. It's like, do that at home, but don't do that in the movie theater. No one wants to hear it.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Pet peeve. Can't stand it.
Yeah. So
it'll make my blood boil. Like when someone's sitting there, even if they're like eating loud, it distracts me so much, and I just start thinking about them. And then if I fuck up and say something to them, then I'm thinking about the fact that I said something to him. It can ruin a movie experience big time.
Yeah.
It gets in your head.
Should we go ahead and rate this, I guess?
Is there anything else anyone wants to throw out there? I'm trying to think. You don't get much of the father in this, which you get a good. That's Keith David, all right?
Yeah, Keith David. He got knocked out pretty quick.
That was a nice little cameo from him, though.
Mm-hmm.
You really just get Keke Palmer and Daniel Kaluuya and Stephen Ewan, and even Stephen Ewan,
and
you don't get much of him.
Pereira guy.
Yeah. There's not a lot of characters.
We also get that TMZ guy, which I kind of want to talk about. Which I didn't know why he came with the reflector helmet on, because that kind of had a thing, like when they're doing that reflector thing and the horse freaks out and like kicks back, in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that maybe had something to do. I know it does.
I think it was kind of a comment on just like even like when the dude fell off his motorcycle or got ejected from the motorcycle, he's like, "Why aren't you filming this?" I think it was just kind of a comment on society now, where if you don't film it, it didn't happen, and just the younger generation needing the likes for every little bit of their life,
Also, one thing: why did looking up matter? Why, like, if you didn't look up?
Well, just as we said before, because a predator, you don't look at predator in his eyes, and if you're looking at him or you're looking at where he is, he comes and gets you. I guess, it did make a lot of sense. To me,
well, I just didn't know that he could like see. I guess I don't know. That's
Well, he has to sense somehow. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
Whatever.
Right.
It was just something that I was just thinking about.
Just a little gimmicky thing to make be able to get away from him.
Because when he'd suck people up, it'd be like that kind of tornado thing. But did you guys what did you guys think when it transforms into that thing? Like, did you guys like that, or did you think I wasn't that craziest about that? I know
I wanted less beauty and more blood.
Yeah.
And then they went towards the beautifulness of the creature.
And also,
like you said, kaiju is a good.
His shape didn't make too much of a sense to how he would physically eat and such once he's flying around like a butterfly. I don't know. It just, to me, I would have stayed with a shape that was kind of more monsterific, than.
This is the type of thing I might like it.
Upgrade? Did it upgrade?
Right. This is the type of thing, like, now that I know that, maybe next time I see it, because it's such a different thing seeing something for the first time, especially something like this that we've all been kind of hyped for since the first preview or since we heard about the film. But I would say overall, the movie definitely didn't live up to my expectations and what I was hoping to get out of it. Like, I left the theater disappointed, and this lady behind me, I heard her saying to her husband, "When people ask me if I like the movie, I'll just say nope." And I was like, "That's what I was just thinking." And a couple other people were like,
somebody said that of mine too.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of people I don't think are gonna like it because unfortunately, I hate to say it, but most people nowadays at movies, they need everything spoon fed to them. They need things to be explicitly. They need some character to come out and expound what the plot of the movie's about. Unfortunately. It's because TV has been dumbed down to a certain extent now that we get no good writing on a lot of the shows. No, good shows too. Also, people don't. I think just sometimes their attention span wanders, especially if it's a longer movie. But I don't know. I think it. I was disappointed because I just was expecting a little bit more horror in my horror movie, or a little bit. I expected a little bit more suspense. And I think the suspense portion of it, and once you got to that third act with the out in the daytime, there was no suspense.
That's a good point too. If the third act being shot during the day, it made it feel more like a Disney, like a Steven Spielberg type of a thing. Right. I still say it's more sci-fi than horror the way I view the movie.
Yeah. But think about that same shit happening at night.
Right. That's a good point.
You're right, man. Because that definitely made. I know Close Encounters and Jaws are both Spielberg's, but it would have been so beautiful at night, man.
Right. Maybe it's because the whole second act was at night. They wanted to have a little bit more dynamics. with the
I
look.
wouldn't even mind it though if it like started in the day and then ended at night. But maybe I guess like what they
it
wanted
does
to
actually
like
seem
the unmet to be in the light and beautiful.
Right, it's exactly
right.
what it was. They wanted beauty in that third act, which again, knowing that, I might look at it different now.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's like the creature only comes out in the time to eat. Now he did shit in the house at night, but maybe he was just taking a potty break at that point. He was parked over the house and he crapped.
That was one of the most visually striking. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yes.
Where it was like raining blood on the
Yeah,
house. That was
so
dope
cool.
for sure. That was really
And
cool.
then after the house is like kind of stained, and a lot of people were saying I couldn't get that great look, but a lot of people were thinking that the house was kind of mimicked after the Psycho house, which I kind of see at angles, but I gotta on the rewatch. I'll definitely look, and I hope with a commentary maybe he'll say something.
The only thing that makes sense either is after 19 people go missing. And the police are there, and TMZ is there, and everybody's there. You think somebody would have came down to the house to see if anybody saw anything, and then saw it was covered in blood.
You'll see the blood-stained shutters.
But then that didn't happen. Yeah, there's some head-scratching moments in the movie. There really is.
Yeah.
But
hey, Hollywood.
Yeah. Well, overall, I would say, if you want to go ahead and let's rate it, go ahead. What do you think, Dylan?
Oh, before we rate it though, I do want to say I thought there was that funny ass scene though in the barn. We'll go back to that when like they're kind of like walking towards them and they're doing the weird ass looks and shit. And that one people were saying they're like any white guy they would just normally or like a dumbass white chick would just be like, oh look at the cute little and instead he goes like nope and just runs. I thought that I was like, oh my god, that's fucking.
Did you guys think they said nope like one too many times in the movie? Because to me, it was like, okay, it was like they said it like 3 or 4 times. That first time was like, oh, that's great,
Yeah, that was if they did it. I'll have to rewatch.
They said
like, I was like that would have been the perfect one time to say nope, and then that
Well, didn't that stand for not of planet Earth? Is that what it was supposed to be?
Oh, I never heard that. That's interesting.
I said that not of this,
not
of planet Earth. Yeah. That's what I don't know if Jordan Peele is. Confirm that. I forget where I heard that, but that's what it makes sense. I mean, but yeah, do you guys want to get into the rating? And if anyone in the chat was able to check it out in the theaters this past weekend, throw your rating down below out of 1 to 5 your digs, 1 to 5 your slips.
Nobody left in the chat. You want to get the fuck out.
Show off after we rate it.
What's that?
Did you have something you want to show off after we rate it? I forgot if you said
no.
Okay. I thought you said you had something. So who wants to start? Scarpad, you want to kick it off on your rating?
What were we rating out of 5?
Out of 5.
Yeah.
5 slips. 5.
Shit.
I don't want to be too hard on it, but then again, I don't want to be too generous.
It's got a pretty good rating on IMDb right now too.
I struggle with people rating his movies because of his social commentary. I think there's a lot of people that are afraid to say that they don't like his movies. He's a fucking iffy guy.
Have that big.
I know, but he's got that reputation. You might get a lot of shit
from animal lovers though, man, because they'll be like, man, he's stuck up for the animals that have been getting abused in Hollywood all these years. Which I wouldn't doubt it, man.
Right.
I couldn't imagine what they put those animals through.
I'm conflicted to say either 3.0 or 3.5.
Oh man, 3.5.
I'm gonna say 3.5. 3.5, 3.5 out of 5.
Fair
just
enough.
Because I think the music, the cinematography, the acting, and really the story to a certain point, I just think it was too long, and I think that's what didn't serve the movie as well. But 3.5 for me.
3.5.
What up, brother Joe? I'm gonna go 3. Like if I left the theater disappointed. So to me, 3 with the possibility of a bump up on a second viewing. But if I left disappointed, so I can't go any higher than that.
Yeah, I thought you might have dug this one because before you kind of started getting into horror, jumping on the show. You weren't a big horror fan before that, correct?
No, I
You were
mean,
more of a sci-fi guy.
this is what I
feel
told
like.
Robbie. As far as like horror would go, that even like movies in general, like I would go, like I might go 6 months without watching any movies and just watch TV and play video games. But then I might go 5 months with watching nothing but horror. But
Yeah.
I'm more mainstream. What this
Man,
show has done, and Robbie PCP in general, has made me watch movies that I would have never watched before. I would have watched this. I watched Get Out, and the more mainstream shit. Watch the Halloween franchise every year, shit like that.
Yeah, and then like the recent It movies and shit.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not a huge torture porn guy. I don't like Hostel and some of that stuff. But I like good, well done horror.
Right. I mean, I like to say I have an eclectic to any genre that's good. Like I joke around all the time. Say I love The Notebook. It's one of my favorite movies. Like I like anything that's good. Any genre that goes with music and art, anything.
Yeah. I'm thinking maybe 3. Let's see. 3.7.
69, dude. 3.7.
69. Yeah, man. I'm because I was maybe thinking 3.8 at first. I'm thinking like because in average I'd give it maybe like a 7.2, 7.4 or something. So I think I'm gonna go 3.7 on it. Because I think those visuals are just beautiful. And sometimes, man, I won't even like care. Like the story's not terrible. So for me, it's like I'm gonna be going in next time for these awesome visuals.
Right.
Like, and plus I'm a huge Jaws guy. So for me, that kind of,
I think it is a movie that I'm going to appreciate more on a second viewing.
I definitely think so.
I can concentrate on it.
I feel like after I watch it, after it comes out on disc, and I can watch it like 2, 3, maybe a 4th time, then I'll probably put it up on the shelf, and then I'll come back to it a few years later.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what it feels. I feel like I'm so intrigued now, and it's lingering. Like Vern said, it's been one I keep thinking about. I keep going back and trying to look at other videos and see what everyone else is getting out of this. I have seen a lot of people say they don't like it. Well, my Drum Dum's a big guy who,
I could see him not liking it.
He did not. He's like, I saw it twice. I don't know what y'all want from me. I don't like it. And He loved us. He loved us, and he obviously loves Get Out. Because I don't know anybody who doesn't like Get
that's
Out.
what I was just thinking. Like, I definitely didn't need to watch Get Out twice to appreciate that it was a brilliant, innovative film.
Brilliant.
Like, there's films that are clearly fucking great, and this isn't.
Get Out's probably a 5
for me. Yeah, it is. Robbie will be doing it for maybe at one point he'll be doing that. I'll just stop there. Never mind.
For horror.
I don't know if he's announced
all
anything.
the good ones. That's why he plans ahead so he can fucking take all the good shit.
They fuck you with the horror fest. They fuck you with the PCP.
Take us, Robbie, Mr. I love us so goddamn much. I can Get Out.
Well, I will point out we're 17 minutes away from Robbie doing the Golden Child on PCP movie night.
Are we starting? Oh shit, it's all right. I thought we.
No, we're not over it yet.
No, we're good. He's kicking it off in 17 minutes.
Oh yeah, we're the
So 3.69, 3.5, and you said Vern, what 3?
3.0.
3.0, 3.5, and 3.7. So
3.369.
Yeah, that's an average score of 3.69.
Bruh.
Yeah, man, dude, I definitely recommend checking it out in theaters. If you're a Close Encounters fan, Jaws fan, Jordan Peele fan, sci-fi fan, definitely check it out. It's right now on IMDb. It shows like horror, mystery, sci-fi, thriller. So
yeah,
definitely worth giving it a shot. Great acting, as we said. If you're not a patient person, maybe, I don't know, but 2 hours, like if you've seen the Batman, you know what I'm saying, 3 hours long, 2 hours and 10 minutes ain't gonna kill you, And honestly, like we all said, I guess it is 2 hours and 10 minutes. I swear Cinemark says 2:15. It kept me intrigued the entire time because I was really wanting to know what the fuck was going on, So I think they give you a couple of those what the fuck moments in the beginning where you're like, what you just want to know what is
Right.
going on. You want to figure out what this payoff is going to be.
Right. I was very like into it, especially early on to the mystery. It was almost once I realized that I wasn't really into what they revealed that I was like, oh, fuck. And then the last 30 minutes, once I knew, it was like, okay, let's watch how they end this thing. That was probably, even though there was no act of the film that was bad, but my third act was what I was least interested in it.
Yeah, everyone does have the different tastes on the panel. That's why I love bringing all these guys in, man, because we get, everyone's going to say what they feel, man. And that's the best part of it all. Yeah, Station Bobby. I like parts of Get Out, but I found it far-fetched that white people would retire to do lawn work and be black. Damn, I never looked at it that way. We definitely got some bangers this year for Horror Fest. I'm working on finishing my list, and we got some pick. We got a pick or two in there from the man Two Gun, who just sent the AOK out today, I believe. So we'll be getting something maybe by next Saturday's show. We'll have a little AOK unboxing for show and tell. So can't wait for that, man. And that will probably unveil what at least one or two of the titles will be for Horror Fest. So when you see one of them, well, no matter what, both of them are getting reviewed. One of them is already on the list, but the way I work Horror Fest, I try to kind of line stuff up like what Robbie's doing, and I have a fucking method to my madness because I kind of want it to feel like double features in a way,
Right.
like you go to his, kind of like how Joe Bob would do like a double feature. Sometimes it might be a random ass movie, like he might be doing something, I might just do something random. But then sometimes, like when he'd do Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I'd be like, all right, perfect, I'm doing the sequel. You know what I mean? So you get a double feature. Like first night we're doing the first one, and then the next night you come and see me review the second. So.
Right. Or you guys did Evil 1 or Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2 back to back. I like when you guys do that.
I think, and then what? He might have did The Exorcist. No, I think I did The Exorcist.
Did you see
last Halloween?
Yep. Dylan, did you see that they announced the Evil Dead animated series?
No.
No,
I didn't know. I know the video game came out.
Yeah, they announced the animated series. I think Bruce Campbell's involved in somehow. So.
Oh wow, no way.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so this upcoming Saturday, if you didn't know, oh shit, I don't have it with me, but we'll be reviewing Stephen King's The Night Flyer.
The only man that actually has a physical copy of that movie since it's been out of print for 25 years.
It's not that hard to get a physical copy.
Let me tell you, the only copy you can get right now, and it would break my heart, is a pan and scan DVD of it on Amazon for $20.
That's really what I have.
I refuse to do that.
Wait, what do you mean? What's a pan scam?
Pan scan. Let me ask you a question. Was that a TV movie or was it a movie?
It was a TV. It was like I think it was either HBO or a Showtime movie.
Okay, then
really?
Maybe it's then it's probably
I think it was HBO. I think
okay,
it was
then it wasn't widescreen then probably. So
the disc that I have the disc I have looks pretty good. It definitely needs to get an upgrade from Blu-ray. Like I hope Scream Factory puts one out because it deserves it big time.
Well, there's a good print of it up on YouTube. So I'll watch it up there.
You'll have to send me the link because the one I saw on YouTube looked like shit. I watched like the first 5 minutes and I was like, I think we could do better. Maybe watch. Are you talking about a free version or one that you could rent? Because you can't get it on Amazon Prime.
A free version. Yeah.
That's why I own it, man. Because the DVD doesn't cost that much, man. It's just like a little what do they call those? The clamshell or the ones that those old school clamshell.
Right.
Dude, I mean, to me, I like the movie enough, and I'm a Stephen King fan, so I need to own it.
Okay, now that I know it's a TV movie, I'll order it. Well,
and that's another thing.
Pan and scan is basically I'll explain real quick. Back before there was HD TVs or when video started, they would crop a movie so that if it was widescreen, they would crop it to fit the TV on the older type TVs. That's what's called pan and scanning, where they would take the camera and go woo, or go woo, and you wouldn't get the whole widescreen presentation. You get right in the middle. I hate those when they do that, and that's why I thought this was.
Right. Well, that's what it looks like on the YouTube video that I watched, where it's more of a square.
It is because it's an old HBO movie back when HBO before it did widescreen. So yeah.
Oh shit, dude! Did I never change the fucking show to 7:30?
No, you never did. But
I fucking thought I must have never hit okay. I did it, and then I was talking to my grandpa or something because I stopped over there like on the way home.
Yeah, I put it into the chat.
Never hit.
So
that's my bad, yo. Yeah, I did see. I wondered why you said that. I was like, but I must have didn't hit it. Sorry.
Okay, we should probably bang out since it's 10 minutes to Robbie. We don't want to trample him. So
yeah, buddy.
All right, check it out. We'll see you guys, everybody, next week for Night Flyers, I guess.
Night Flyer. Saturday night.
Hells yeah. Night Flyer, definitely let us know. And Two Gun, if that YouTube copy sucks, man, let me know. I just sent Vern a copy over to watch.
Hell yeah, appreciate that.
So yeah, guys.
Hey Dylan, you might as well send that to me too. What the heck?
I got you. Well, yeah, I'll just check the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's cool.
You'll see it. In the horror chat. So be there Saturday. If anyone needs help watching the Night Flyer, let me know and I'll show you the YouTube link that we were watching it on. The good one at least. Let me know. And so you guys are able to watch it before this Saturday. Just hit me up on Instagram, and I'll let you know how to get in touch with that. Hope you guys have a great week. And go see Nope, guys. Love y'all, man. Catch y'all later. Have a good one.